So, by the way, India is the fifth largest coffee growing nation in the world.
So your favorite Indian snack with your cup of coffee?
Oh, I never have a snack with cup of coffee. I can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and do you recommend it for others also? If
I have to. I have to.
a dream collab, coffee and
Sachin Tendulkar.
I thought you would say Richa.
Now I have hired a new boss. She's already there. I said Richa, okay? I said Richa.
Coffee, they say, is not just a beverage. It is an emotion, it is an experience. Half the world swears by it. Today, something's brewing at the Hitavada People's Mic. And to reveal the secret behind this, we have with us Mithilesh Vazalwar, founder of Corridor 7 Coffee Roasters, who is one person who has thought out of the box, who has stepped out of his comfort zone and made a name for himself in the world of coffee. His specialty brand is hugely popular in the nation and he's also making waves on the international front. So let's sit back and enjoy a brulicious conversation with Mithilesh Vazalwar.
Welcome, Mithilesh, to the Hitavada's People's Mic. We're very glad to have you here with us today. So, when did coffee become something more important into your life than just picking up a cup of coffee and having it? So, when did this become a life's calling for you?
First of all, thank you for having me over here. It's an absolute honor and pleasure to be over here. Never thought that this would be the day where I'd be coming down. When it happened, I used to drink coffee quite a lot. Like I used to drink coffee since I was like maybe 11, 12 years old, something like that. I don't recommend that now.
No. But did your parents not tell you something like this? Coffee nahi peena, chai nahi peena.
I know. Abhi kya tha ki I used to travel for my tournaments, badminton professionally. So it used to so happen that whichever city I used to go to, I used to have coffee, but it was more for the taste of it. Like I used to be intrigued by the taste of it. It was not that I want to drink it every day, sort of a thing. So that became like a regular routine for me. I used to go there. I never thought that there would be a passion to paycheck from this thing. But I always knew that there is much more story behind the coffee cup, right? It's not just a cafe, it's not just a coffee cup that you want to give. There's much more towards it. I think it became very clear when the first time I went to Melbourne in 2015 and I ended up doing a short course in coffee of a 2-day course. I had gone there for a CA tie-up. I had a finance background and I wanted to do one course in CA over there, which would enable me to stay there and work there, etc. But I did a short course in coffee over there, and that's how everything changed for me.
So you just told us about your CA background. So, leaving a sort of a very stable, grounded job. So how has the journey been, stepping into an absolutely unknown territory?
Yeah. I think finance was never like my cup of coffee, never excited me so much, or the CA side of things never excited me so much. My dad is a CA. My mom comes from an entrepreneur background herself. Like she started the Tupperware distribution in the city. And dad also had a
And she used to operate from where your 7 corridors is.
That's
right.
That's right. Actually, she still operates. So it's right next to the roastery where it is, Corridor 7. Yeah. So she's still there. But entrepreneurship kind of became like a very normal thing at home, It was never like... it was very well told right from the beginning that not a single work is going to be a small work. Be it you want to wipe the table, be it you want to talk at like bigger places or wherever, So no work is small. No work is something which is going to be, you should be getting gotten carried away. So I think leaving the stable life towards this, I always knew that it will take a lot, and it just came naturally to me, honestly. And the sports background added up quite a lot. So it was the entire culture of the family and the background that I got from sports that helped quite a lot.
But that's commendable because, coming from a very conservative Maharashtrian household,
Yeah,
where I think the paths are laid down, and it's not only Maharashtrian, I think everywhere
a
it
lot.
is.
Yeah,
Either it's go in for engineering or you go in for a medical profession, वो set हो रहता है. So coming out of that and
yeah,
this, I mean, coffee, this is
yeah.
something, which somebody never would have thought of.
True,
So
true.
it's really commendable on your parents' part to let you
Absolutely.
achieve the dream that you dreamt, I
Yeah.
think, years ago.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think I always tell everybody ki my half battle was won when my parents said like you do whatever you want to, but make sure you like kill it. That's how they've brought me up. So definitely works a lot. So
You've always said that you wanted to build a coffee culture. We've heard you, say this, we've read about it. So, what exactly is it when you say that you want to build a coffee culture around the city or wherever that you go?
right. See, I have always taken coffee as a community table. I have not taken coffee as a beverage per se that you just make it and you give it. For me, coffee is about an experience, and it earlier was about an experience for sure. Now is also an experience, but then it's also important that it becomes a part of everybody's day to day life. Till the time it is not a part of day to day life for everybody, then it is an experience always. How many times I go for an experience? So you have to balance it out very well. Speaking about expanding the coffee culture, uh, I always knew that to understand the audience, to understand what people want, because I always say about this thing, you cannot teach Japanese in a Sanskrit language. You can't, right? That's not the way to go ahead. You have to understand what they want, you have to understand what they need. So for me, it was kind of natural because, again, back to badminton, you read the opponents, right? You read the opponents, what is he planning, what are the things that they're going to do, and then you be a step ahead. Similarly, for me to understand the guests, so we don't call them customers at corridor, we call them guests. So to understand the guests and their mindset, I kind of would say I've been gifted with that in a way, where I can understand what the consumer trend or the guest trend is moving towards. So it is a culture that I wanted to develop where you're not just picking up a coffee. In fact, I'll tell you something very interesting. We started back in 2018, the cafe, but till 2020 we did not have the takeaway cups because I was adamant that I'm not going to serve in a takeaway cup. But then God had some other plans. COVID hit, and we are like, you got to be a Roman in Rome, so you got to change and tweak. That's how the paper cups came in. But then again, the point being that I wanted to have a conversation with people, and I always knew there's a potential in the city. And as a tagline of Corridor 7 goes, dreams don't see what address they come from. I genuinely believe that it does not matter if you're in this city or in other city. You can build people together and look where people have taken the entire coffee culture now. So I have not taken it. I probably have initiated it, but then people have responded and people are taking it ahead. That's something which is amazing to see.
So, Mithilesh, you talked of community building.
Yeah.
So, you hold a lot of workshops. You are a speaker. You go to schools, colleges. You have been giving TEDx. You're a TEDx speaker also. So, can you throw some light on this? Plus, you mentioned a lot about your, sports background. I think that has really helped you.
Yeah.
And I think this I am also going to carry because, now I know somebody whose life is built around sports. So, you are setting an example for most of our audience also how the sports is helps one build one's life.
Yeah.
So can you throw some light on the community?
Absolutely. So community and sports. Look, in sports you got to build a team. In sports, and I realized this way later that whenever somebody plays a sport. So I used to play badminton, right? Every rally you have to give 100%. You cannot be disappointed with the earlier rally that you have lost.
Yeah, true.
You have to give you 100%. So win and lose becomes like a normal thing. And I keep telling my friends that, if you haven't played sports, you are only giving a 3 hour examination in winters and summers. So you're judging yourself onto that. That's not fair at times. So we lived that thing, like dive मार के पैर टूट के हाथ टूट के we are diving, we are playing, we are running, we are doing everything the entire, but probably we are losing in the first match. But do we stop? No, we don't.
We don't stop.
Right?
Yes.
That is exactly what sports teaches. You just have to keep going on and becomes your normal. Because a lot of people do ask me about it. यार कैसा होगा अपने अगर और आउटलेट खोले तो what would happen? And I'm like, we'll see यार. You know, we'll see, we'll figure. If that is a problem, then you can't do it. If it's a challenge, you can do it. It's the way you look at it. When it comes to community building, I absolutely love doing that. Because as I said earlier, like coffee is a community table.
Right.
Coffee is essentially a catalyst towards people meeting, groups coming together, people finding their hidden talent, so to speak. I'll give you an example. I love theater. I love theater. Not being on the stage, but the back side of it, right? Probably the production side of thing, or probably marketing strategy, or probably writing or directing, whatever. In fact, I've written and directed a play long back.
Okay.
I don't speak about that
A
much.
new facet.
Yeah. I mean, so what was that?
New facet, I
New
said.
facet, yeah. I thought you knew about that.
No, I did not. When I
Yeah,
talked
okay.
to you the last time, I did not know of this.
Yeah, I love that part. Somehow, I don't know why. But anyway, so now what we've done is there were a couple of people, two people who wanted to do a stage show and all. And I told them, why don't you come to Corridor? Do a dialogue workshop where you invite people, they read the dialogues and have fun, and do it in the cafe so that people look at it. It's nothing to do with me wanting them to come and increase the sale. Nothing to do with that. But just let people come in. Because what I believe is that I don't know 100% of the audience of Nagpur, but probably 20% more than me. So we get the circles together. And that's how you build a community in the most honest sense, right?
That's a noble thought, really.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get the platforms.
Right.
Sometimes you always have to have like a larger space, and people are not sometimes so confident about what they're doing. Like I used to do also, I was into philately also. I had that kind of angle as well, like back when I was a kid. So now I got to know there's like a entire group in Nagpur who are into stamp collections, and they are completely at it. So that is what coffee is all about, is what I take. It's not just a beverage. That's our job, that's our role, that's our headache. All you have to do is you just have to come. So there are two things. One is a cafe and one is I would say, specialty coffee and specialty cafe. I always say specialty coffee is for us to figure out. Specialty cafe is where somebody's coming in and they just find this place to be theirs. That's what a definition of specialty cafe should be. So that's what we are aiming for. And so far, it's been a great response.
So when you say specialty coffee, so how do you find the difference between a specialty coffee and what you're drinking right now?
Right. Wow. I always say the nose, and the tongue tells. So after a point of time, you are trained to do that. But okay, the long of this, what is a specialty coffee? It all starts at the farm. So we work with the farmers of India extremely in depth, right from the tech side of things, right from the understanding of what production is possible, what processes are possible. So, by the way, India is the 5th largest coffee growing nation in the world, but it has never gotten the due in the world till date. So the entire aim of Corridor 7 is to elevate that experience, and whoever comes from abroad or our audience, you want to tell them, you know what, we are missing nothing. We have the entire ecosystem of producers, roasters, and cafes. We've got that. So specialty coffee as a definition is, any coffee which has been sourced ethically, produced in a very, very scientific manner, and after that graded. So there is a lot of grading. So I'm a coffee Q grader by profession. Q stands for quality. Did that in Melbourne. One of the most toughest things that I've ever done.
So when you do such kind of courses, you also have to appear for written exams, or is it just the practical side of thing?
No, it's a written exam also. So it was one of the toughest things I've ever done. And I was thinking, I left CA because I thought that's not my cup of coffee, and
Yeah.
I'm getting into this. I think I'm biting into a bigger bullet right now. So the short of that exam, Q grading, is that by the end of 6 days, you've ended up tasting about 700 cups of coffees,
Wow.
and you have graded that on the parameters of aroma, flavor, acidity, not the stomach, but the palate sourness, aftertaste, bitterness, consistency, a lot of parameters, and then there's a scoring to it. Like out of 10, you have to score. The score starts from 6, 6.25, 6.5 up to 10. The total of the entire thing, if it comes above 80, then that's a specialty coffee.
Okay.
So that's the long of it basically. About that Q grading exam, I am the only person who has done that exam from Australia. And believe me, Australians know their coffee a little too much, and it's so inspiring to know. But now I would also add, us in the city and in country, we also started knowing the coffee, because we get people who are like, can we have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then they know that what they want to drink, right? So that's what specialty coffee is per se. And when we do that examination, it's kind of super tough. So yeah, so all in all, when you combine a specialty coffee experience and a cafe experience, community experience, I would say Corridor 7 is born.
So actually, I am not one of those people, who will say, give me a little of this, little of that.
Okay.
For me, coffee was just coffee.
Yeah.
And it is much later that I came to know, okay, what is an Americano,
Yeah.
what's a latte, what's a mocha.
Yeah.
Otherwise, whenever I would go out with my friends and they would say, okay, humko coffee peeni hai, I would say, nahi, mujhe chai peeni hai. Otherwise, also I'm a chai person, but then
I drink masala chai in the morning, so that's for sure, but can't leave the coffee. But I know what you mean, because sometimes coffee becomes very intimidating to a lot of people.
Correct.
You just go to the cafe, I just want good coffee, and that is exactly what I tell the team also, that आपको ये jargons नहीं बताने हैं कि मैंने ये निकाला, मैंने वो निकाला. आपने सिर्फ पूछना है आपको गर्म चाहिए, ठंडा चाहिए, you want sweet, you want not sweet. That's about it. Simple questions made it easy. Because I genuinely believe the moment you overcomplicate things in your industry shrinks. So our job is to expand it by keeping it easy and opening more doors for people to come in. So that's very, very important.
Like I do remember when I'd gone to the US in 2000, that was my first visit, and उस समय Starbucks का बहुत ज़्यादा वो था. So I said, okay, fine. I didn't want to miss out, and I also wanted to be one holding a Starbucks the cup in my hand. And I went and ordered a coffee, and they just gave me black coffee, no sugar. And I didn't have that time. I didn't have the
palate or the experience.
The palate, and no, I didn't want to let them know that I didn't know what coffee was. So I just picked up and I said, kitni kadvi coffee. There was no sugar, there was no milk.
And now you're there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a journey. It's a journey, for everybody. Right. So in fact, what great point actually. So at Corridor, what we have done is, because as I said, I love hospitality. I love Indian hospitality.
You're spot on.
Yeah.
There is nothing better than Indian hospitality.
Zero
if you
comparison.
Travel the world, then you know what India offers.
When I was invited to one of the dinners in London, there was a pasta bowl that came in. And I had that, and I'm like, okay.
Is that it?
And that was all. That is all, And so this is also how I train the team also, because हमारे यहाँ पे जो team members आते हैं, they come from a very humble background, like absolutely humble background, and they get intimidated कि ये पहले तो ये word सीखना है, cappuccino सीखना है,
correct,
ये सब सीखना है, right? उसके बाद the guests are coming, and वो भी बहुत they're talking, and by the way, our guests are the best guests that you'll ever see, ever. They have made our team members as their family members. But वो बंदों को initially हिचकिचाहट होती है कि यार मेरे को डर लग रहा है, ये बड़े-बड़े गाड़ियों से उतर रहे हैं. So my job as a founder is to make my team comfortable. Only then they can make the guests comfortable. So I keep telling them the same thing, that imagine that, and this I do very often, like every 15 days, that imagine that I come to your house and you don't know me, समझ लो, मैं आपके parents का friend हूँ, मैं समझ लो, and आप phone पे बैठे हो, and मैंने knock किया और मैं अंदर आया. Will you continue being on the phone? Would your parents let you do that?
Right.
They will whack you or throw you out. That is exactly what you have to do at Corridor. Leave everything. The guest enters. Your attention is towards them. That is what hospitality of you get to know,
Absolutely.
right? मैं इनको फिर एग्जांपल एक देता हूँ कि यार हम लोग थाली खाने जाते हैं. मैं वही वर्ड यूज करूंगा. आपकी जरूरत की आप सिर्फ एक ही रोटी खाओ.
करेक्ट.
ठीक है, आप खिला भी रहे हो तो भी आप एक ही रोटी दे के दिखाओ. आपको पीछे वाला बोले भाई क्या कर रहा है और खिलाओ, राइट? That is exactly what you have to do when guests come in. So never till date have I ever given sales targets to any of the team members. But it is only about just make sure you make the guests feel comfortable. Let them eat. Tell them if you don't like it, that is on us. You go one step ahead. So it is about unimaginable hospitality that you get from India. You just have to apply it in your own way.
Right.
So yeah.
So, because you were talking of your team members, so I recently saw a reel where you were, making something, some kind of a fusion food, or you and your team were trying out, and your team members were also helping you out with it. So that just, shows the camaraderie. That shows the close association.
Yeah, I know.
You have with your team members.
Oh yeah. I enjoy whenever some new team member joins in. My selfish motive in that is कि मेरे को उससे कुछ सीखने मिलेगा.
So have they ever surprised you with something which you thought कि ये हो ही नहीं सकता था? So have they ever come up with it?
मैं अभी का example बताऊँ. So my wife has now officially joined in Corridor 7, and that has been singularly the best decision that we have ever taken. And the past 7 days, they did an entire Christmas. So now we are a team of 155, 160 team members. And they had planned everything about the Christmas carnival and a lot of stuff. As a team bonding, team engagements and all those things. The kind of activity and the kind of food that came up. And I was like, if I wanted to do that, I would have taken 2 weeks or 2 months to conceptualize, think, get them together, motivate them and all that. So everybody surprised me this time. So touchwood, feels like we are on the right track right now.
Right.
But there are a bunch of team members, who've been there since day one, and now also joining in from different countries, different cities. We are expanding in different cities. Over there's a lot of excitement who want to be a part of it. So as a ritual, by the way, every year on my birthday,
which is on?
It's on 6th of April.
Okay.
6th of April. So every year I put up a pani puri and dahi puri stall, and I make it for everybody. So that's kind of become a culture now.
I think you need to invite us, all of us.
Yeah, absolutely, always, always. So that's what team building for me is, because without team, it's so boring. Also,
right?
It is so boring. So we have some good times, and it's fun.
So you also talked of the city, Nagpur city, and how you played a role in the coffee culture in the city.
Yeah.
So were there never ever pressures or to go out of Nagpur? Because when you started that time, the coffee culture and the cafe culture was not so very developed in the city. So कहीं तो भी ऐसे कि भाई probably if I go to a metro city, I might be able to fare better. Did you ever feel that way?
See, I'll summarize it with the same statement. Dreams don't see what address they come from. From the city itself, even today, I'm the only Indian who's represented India twice in 2 different formats at the World Coffee Championships, judged and invited for like 5 different. So I don't see it as a limitation anymore, right? When I started off, now people do tell me that they said that you've lost your mind. First of all, starting in a city like Nagpur.
Right.
Secondly, starting in a city like area like Birdi. So for the context, for other outside viewers, it's almost like Crawford Market of Bombay or a Chandni Chowk of Delhi. That is where I wanted to start. And from there, a lot of people did say like, you lost your mind. There was no culture. But then it was important for me, and I knew this, that there's a way to develop it. You cannot start from the day one of like boom, bam, 1,000 people and all those things. Because before I took this decision of starting it off, right? I had seen the trend, which was like 2 months things used to run, shut, 2 months, shut, 2 months, shut. And I'm not going to be this for sure. Because not just, it's unfair not just for the person who runs it, but it's unfair for the audience also.
Correct.
They've started liking a place, and you do well, and then you don't put efforts, and you
Hmm.
just shut it down. That doesn't work like that. So for me, it was like, I'll take it easy. I'll start slow. I'll build a community, small, small, small. And back then, believe me, there was like uh, nobody who knew what a pour over is.
Mhm.
It was like nobody knew what a pour. They just thought to be like, this mad guy who's standing behind the bar, putting some water, and what are you talking about? It's kind of that, right? So I love that challenge. There was an opportunity cost attached to it when we be in the other city and all, because other cities were kind of not ahead, but whatever. There were a little bit more people over there who must have traveled, probably like whatever percentage. But for me, it was like, yeah, I want to do something for the city for sure. It is not going to be a bottleneck, or it's not going to be a stoppage for me कि मैं यहाँ पे करूँगा तो यहीं रहूँगा. But मेरे को ये पता था कि मेरे को यहाँ से where my roots are, I want to really start something. And it's a compounding effect. You have to be very patient about it.
That's true. In the food industry, definitely.
You have to be super patient. So I had all the patience. I still have all the patience. In fact, I always keep saying that. In fact, I believe in that. We have not even started yet. Corridor 7 is right now at the journey where we will take the next steps, and we will be building a culture and community at a larger audience. So very exciting 2026 to come.
So you are known to be very innovative, in all your ventures. And latest we've heard is something called BRIM.
Yeah.
So can you throw some light on it? What's the philosophy behind that?
Yeah. So Brim is the newest sibling of Corridor. It's under the same umbrella. But my concept with Brim is that why should scored coffees, जो मैं पहले बताया था, scoring of the coffee. My concept is, why should the highly scored coffees be available only when you go to bigger cafes? I want to change that perception. I want to have these good coffees, and in fact, good and great coffee option at every corner, not just in the city but in the country. Because when you go to these corner coffee shops, there's always cost cutting. You will get much cheaper coffee at a much cheaper price, but then you can gauge an idea of what you're drinking. And it's not even like as quick as you want to. Here we are setting up operations which will be like super fast. You want to scale it, multiply it, and then offer at every corner. You can go and you can pick 82 coffee or 84 coffee.
Okay.
That is how we have put it. So the message is straight across over there. Go to Brim, pick up an 82 scored coffee or an 84 scored coffee. 82 is a daily driver, 84 is indulgence. You've got both options. Go pick up your coffee and just get along with your day. So that's what the concept of Brim is. We just opened our fifth store day before. That's in Rajnagar, sorry, Behramji town. So we've got one in Ramdaspet where it all started from.
Oh yeah, that
The
one I
small
saw.
one,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah.
small one.
It was an absolute experimentative thing, and the name Brim does not have any reason, logic whatsoever. Because I spent a lot of time on Corridor 7, so I thought like I need some brand which is just easy to pronounce and good to go. So Brim is catching up. I mean, it's catching up like wildfire right now. And Corridor 7 feels a little bit intimidated by Brim at the moment.
Exactly. Now, when I talk, it's always, is it 7 corridors or is it corridor 7? So
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
just
I
always
know what you
mixing
mean.
up.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it is Corridor 7. It is C7 now that everybody calls it. Earlier I used to be like, yeah, don't call it C7, but I'm like, well, it's a people's brand
Yeah.
now. I can't do anything about it.
Right.
So good to see that.
So every entrepreneur, faces a set of challenges. So what are the challenges, professionally, emotionally, financially, if any that came your way, and how did you tackle them?
Right. So I think let me put it this way. I'll take the financial bit of things first. If you're sane enough, if you're practical and very smart enough, financially you would not face challenges, and your risk appetite should be more. So it's kind of an oxymoron statement I'm saying, but your risk appetite has to be there, and you have to kind of. It's not a big challenge to be honest. Like today, if you ask anybody, people will give you the funds. But I always keep telling everybody that do you have the plan of it? What do you want to do with? Because earning is no more a challenge, it's about spending.
Right.
It is about spending. So when I started off, I was 28. I left every goddamn thing. And I started at a salary of 22,500, staying in Delhi, uh, in a apartment which is under construction, because all I wanted was to just learn coffee. I didn't care about that day or next year or next to next year. I wanted to look at it as a long term thing. So you have to take the risk, but financial constraints are not going to be too challenging, to be honest. And I don't come from a privileged background where, you know, oh, dad's money is my money,
Right.
mom's money is my money. It's not, that's never been the philosophy, or else I wouldn't have slept in the kitchen
Yeah.
for months and weeks, right? Anyway, that's different. But
I think which is why there is, this has added value to your way of living and your way of thinking.
yeah,
Right?
absolutely. Because मैं नहीं मानता हूँ कि सिर्फ पैसे से ब्रांड बनता है. ऐसा नहीं होता. There has to be a little bit more of you
True.
into it. And yeah, I mean, that's one pivoted point. But coming back to this thing, the thing that you asked about,
Challenges.
the challenges as an entrepreneur. Look, as an entrepreneur, you have to be very open to be intimidated, not intimidating, but intimidated. You have to be very open to be letting your ego go, first of all, क्योंकि सीधा पेड़ सबसे पहले कटता है.
Correct.
ठीक है. You have to be super humble about it, because there is somebody bigger than you every single moment. And at the same time, as badminton taught me, today you will win, tomorrow you're going to lose. It is going to happen. You're not going to win. It's not never going to. If you're winning every day, you're not doing something right. So you have to be ready for the downers. It's not how you react when you're up, it's about how you react when you're down.
So, Mithilesh, coffee, when we talk of coffee, we hear terms like barista, roaster. Somebody comes and says, कि मैं barista हूँ या मैं roaster हूँ. So, what do we make out of that? What exactly do you mean when you say it's a barista? And these have become very popular choices as career professions also.
Yeah.
So, can you throw some light on this?
Okay, so I'll just go back a little bit. Like when I wanted to get into coffee, that was way back, right? But 2015, as I said earlier, like Australia changed it all. But I remember very drastically or very distinctly that in Nagpur I'd gone somewhere, and one of the waiters was called, like this, and then called this way. One thing I decided about this thing, that whenever I start something in coffee or food or whatever, whoever works with me will get the equal amount of respect that I get.
That is so very necessary.
That is super important.
Absolutely.
Right? So when you come to corridor, you would never see anybody flipping their fingers or calling out, because they will feel odd. Now, again, a little bit back, when I got into coffee, and all, closest of my friends, closest of my lot of whatever, they had said कि ये तो waiter बनने वाला है, ये तो table साफ करेगा हमारा, all those things. And with my parenting background, like my parents basically, I felt like ठीक है ना, अगर कर लिया तो what is the big deal about it? But then I realized that for a lot of people that is about dignity. So I had decided that any team member of mine will get the dignity that they deserve, because it's not an easy job. So for that, those kind of reasons, what we have done is, since 2018, when we started a cafe, we invite the guests with us behind the bar and brew the coffee, and we'll teach them, of course. But they can get their friends, their family, and they become the brewer of the day. So we call it BOTD.
Wow.
What it essentially does is, the moment you are behind the bar, the distance of 2.5, 3 feet, when you are on this side, you have much more appreciation towards the craft, art, and the time that somebody gives over here. And that is how people start building the trust that it's not easy.
Yeah.
That is what essentially I want to do. And then at the same time, when we started a coffee academy also, for these reasons only, where we want to get people from tier 3, tier 4, tier 2 as well, who get trained under us, and it's not about they just get paid, but they get the dignity of work. that's super crucial for us. I'll share one more incident over here. So, in our team, there's a department which basically clears the table, washes the utensils. Couple of team members of ours now who are leading the stores came from that background. They were at the back place cleaning, wiping, but their interest that caught my eye, and I'm like, these guys should be in front.
Right.
Today they are my inspiration. So if anybody asks me who's my inspiration, they are my inspiration because they are struggling every day, single each and every moment between themselves. Yaar, main kaise bolu inko hello, and they are going through that. That's amazing to see. So that's what I definitely wanted to add. That the dignity
So I
of
think
it.
whatever you have learned on your way to wherever you are right now, you've all implemented in your way of working.
Yeah.
So that really speaks a lot about you, Mithilesh.
Yeah, if I go through that, everybody's going through that. So yeah.
And how have you taken the Indian brands to the international level?
Yeah. So Indian brands, Indian coffee per se, we are the only roasters in the country who get people from London, Portugal, Australia, Japan. They come over here and they do pop-ups. Not a single coffee chain in India does that even now.
Wow. I mean, this is news to me. I was not aware of it.
It's only that community knows about this thing, that we are those guys who will go crazy about getting these collaborations and bring something very different out. And it's all happening in our city. And the city responds. Like on those days, we see about 150 more people coming in. And that's happening in the city. I'm so happy about it. Yeah, I mean, जब शुरू किया था तब ऐसा था कि 4 people talk about it and they look at that paper filter and they're like, क्या हो रहा है? And now people are like, they're completely into it. So I'm so happy that I was a catalyst, or at least a part of the catalyst, to get this ahead and see where we have come.
So for you, has it always been the mouth of mouth publicity that has brought you to this level? And you have a very niche and clientele who comes continuously back to you?
It is, I think, the sense of trust that we inculcate, not just in country, not just in the city, but at a lot of places across the globe where we are getting invited to pop up over there as well. So I think it's a trust. And since 2017, as the brand started, Cafe was 2018. Since then till today, we have spent probably 0 rupees on advertising. We bought something, we want to put a poster or, all those. That's not what we've done, but it's the people who have built a brand, people who got to know, they said like, try this out, why not? But again, we just have started. We've got a very long way to go. There's a lot of work that's there in the pipeline. We're opening a bunch of stores in the city and outside the city. Some international pop-ups probably, or a permanent store. But then that's how the Indian coffee is taking its shape. We also are actually adding schools at our producers' farms. So we are sponsoring the schools, and the idea is that we will be taking care of the education of the kids over there.
Wow, that is.
I mean,
really
that's the
nice.
effort that we're gonna put across, but we hope we can, scale that up as well.
So again,
That's
this is another way of you giving back to the community in some way or the other.
100%. Like, speaking of giving back, the first weekend of Corridor 7 as a cafe. So in hospitality, the first weekend is always like the most important weekend. Because Saturday, Sunday is like where people have gotten to know and they're now interacting, right? But June 2018, the first weekend, I decided to keep it shut because there was a need of funds at one of the shelter homes in Rajnagar, and we collaborated with an NGO and we popped up our store over there. So did you come that time?
No, I was not there.
So 2018 June, imagine this is like 7 years back, right? We must have gotten in that shelter room about 1,000 plus people in 2 days. Our coffees got over, our milk got over, and I was just looking, I'm like, what is going on? So all the sales proceeds went to redeveloping the entire shelter home, and that is a coffee fundraiser that we started off, and we raised about 2.5 lakh back then. So we left the weekend, but we decided to give back. And I think that is what makes Corridor 7 breed today. If you would have said, oh no, first weekend, no, we want to be over here. I knew it's a dent in the first two, but that's okay. I mean, on the long run, you just have to be patient about it.
So we all here, I think, are very super proud of whatever you're doing and whatever you have been telling us.
Thank you.
And I think likewise your parents, your friends also would share the same sentiment, I think.
I hope.
So Mithilesh, recently BBC covered you and there was a segment about the rave, coffee rave. So can you throw some light on this?
Yeah. Okay, so last year I was in London for some work, and over there I was just observing the industry where every week there were two pubs that were shutting. So basically, the alcohol culture is going down, especially with the Gen Z. And by the way, I'm a huge advocate for Gen Z. Absolutely huge advocate for them. I love their presence and their mind and their thoughts. And they're responding towards non-alcoholic side of things as well, much more than our generation did. So there were bakery raves that happened over there, and there was nothing. The people got a DJ console and they just had a good time. Little did I realize, back in 2018 we had done the same thing, but we did not know that it's called a coffee rave. So 2018 we had done that, where there was somebody who was playing live music, and it was a very wonderful vibe, right? This time what we did last year, it's I think exactly a year back. So we did a coffee rave where essentially the concept is that the espresso machine is on, the lights are a little bit dimmed, it's not a party, but there's a live music going on right next to it. I think 700-800 people came that first day. Mixed crowd. My in-laws were there, and there were 14-year-old, 13-year-old kids, because there's no alcohol attached to it. It's just open. It's just a good music, good vibe, right? And the next week, the OG Nikhil Chinnappa called us up and said, I want to be a part of it. And I was like, is there a commercial? He's like, no. I just want to be a part of it. Can I play? And I'm like, who would say no? So Nikhil Chinnappa played, and we announced that at 4 p.m. for a 6 p.m. rave. And I can't tell you, we had to add 7-8 bouncers. We had to have a lot more doors opened, and it was amazing. So the coffee rave picked up. That clip went viral, not just in the country, but across the globe. And we're getting invited now to do these raves, to have that entire vibe set and everything. So that's how the coffee is. So again, a lot of people don't like that thing, for sure. I understand that. Because when you look at it, you're like, what is going on, man? It's so silly. But believe me, I'm not a party person. But that day, I'm not complaining. Yeah, this is so cool.
No, see, I think the mindset now is, without alcohol, you want to just give vent to your feelings.
Yeah.
So, and probably you have set the trend, because now I do see things happening around, like this happening around here in Nagpur. So it could not, possibly it's not just a coffee rave, but then we have all these bethaks and all, where you have the people singing, and you have entire jing bang who are just sitting there and enjoying and probably joining in.
Absolutely.
Again,
imagine this, if somebody would have said about 5 years back, we would have said like, okay, I don't know, I don't see a sense. But now people are responding. And also, actually, there's a deeper rooted cause towards this coffee rave, right? So in short, I'll just tell you, like, the coffee prices are increasing drastically. Like there's no tomorrow. Because of which, what is happening is that the roasters like us, we are unable to purchase so much. So we have to kind of restrict our purchases, which is essentially changing the dynamics of the entire economy, where producers have to sell it higher, roasters are unable to buy, so there's a lot of capacity left, and we also have a deficit.
Correct.
So they can't reduce prices, we can't pay more, so there's a contradictory deficit over there. Now, because of which, Cardo started thinking from this point of view that we want coffee to be consumed in any shape, format, manner, time, day, duration, anytime. So that the consumptions increase, we can order a little bit more, and we can kind of try to stabilize the price. So that's the deep-rooted thought of this thing. But we cannot keep going on and on. Arey, come to coffee because of this. And it becomes boring. That's not your job. That's our job to figure things out. So that's how the coffee rave is also there. We also did a first coffee run with a live music. And that started from Ravi Nagar space. And what we did was there was a coffee run over there, and they had no clue that there's going to be a DJ. And the moment they were ready to start, this DJ comes in the open truck, and that's how it started. So that was pretty cool.
So with this, we come to the rapid fire question. So what the first thing that you do after waking up?
Play with my dog.
What's his name?
Her,
Or
Juno.
her name?
Juno.
Juno.
So we take care of Juno and other one, samne mein Sage, and then we take care
And
of
what
seven.
breed is that?
She's a cross of Labrador and Doberman.
Okay.
Super naughty.
Labrador and Doberman. I mean, two very different, absolutely,
Super different
spectrum.
energies. Doberman is like always running,
Yeah.
and Labrador, give me food,
Yes.
give me food. So it's always like that.
So your favorite Indian snack with your cup of coffee?
Oh, I never have a snack with cup of coffee.
Never?
I can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and do you recommend it for others also, if...
I have to. I have to. Something from my menu. Croissant probably,
Worst advice you've ever received regarding your...
Oh my God. So many. So many. Even today. Even today, I get them. India is not the place to start business. I remember that so well. And I was like, all right, we'll talk about it.
And look at us, India as a nation growing.
There's more to go. And that wakes me up every single day. Even though that guy has like kind of said, I was wrong, but I'm like, boss, it is here. It is here. I'm going to tell you what it is.
One thing you never compromise on in business?
When it comes to guests, I am a different person. I get goosebumps. I mean, I'm scared of myself in a way. Because for me, that is sacred. That is Atithi Devo Bhava is my kind of way to go. So I can never compromise onto that. Customer service or guest service, I don't like doing that at all.
A dream collab, coffee and...
Sachin Tendulkar.
I thought you would say Richa.
Now I have hired a new boss. She's already there. I said Richa, okay? I said Richa.
Okay, with that,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
Thank
being
you so
a part
much.
of...
Thank you so much.